One man is being victimized by our own government. One man whom they fear, yet who millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism. One man who once again wants to make America that shining city on a hill for all to see. A place where all the people of the world glowingly set their eyes upon. America. One man who unashamedly wants to make America great again. That one man is Donald Trump.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
Welcome everybody to the Saturday early afternoon, maybe late afternoon edition. As you guys know, I do one show on Saturdays, one show on Friday, one show on Sunday. Not sure this is going to be the full 3-hour Monty that we normally do. We might top out at about 2 hours, but I do have quite a bit to discuss with you. First and foremost, I got to tell you about some viewer mail that we got. Got this lovely card from Beth. Okay, I got to stay still. Okay, lovely card from Beth. And she gives us some congratulations and talks about some of the stuff. And she says, bless you in every area of your lives. Thank you very, very much, Beth. Says, may the Lord continue to bless you in every area of your lives. And she made us a nice pillow. Now, I hope if I stay still, you guys will be able to see this pillow. She made a pillow. Come on, I hope it shows up. Oh, there it is. It's got Lily on one side. Well, let me move my other hand. There's Lily. If I keep it still, you can see it. There's Lily. And on the other side, it's got Mr. Midas. Mr. Midas on the other side. And already, she has decided she wanted to chew on it right there. So I had to get it away from her real quick. So Beth, thank you very, very much for that. Glad you guys could see it. In addition, I got a couple other things I wanted to share with you. I won't give people's names because it's not nice to do that. But this is from Lee. Lee says, Dear Barry, Robin, Ashley, and the Fanfare family and mods, thank you so much for this Bible. I was not raised going to church, and I went by myself for the first time at age 64, the Sunday after Charlie was shot. I felt such a dark heaviness. I want to learn more about Jesus. I have been following you since March of 2024. Lee, I hope that Bible comes in extremely handy for you. And thank you for this card. And then we got another card. This one, well, that's this one. I didn't show you Lee's. This was the card Lee sent. Very nice. And this one is from Megan. Megan says, Robin, Barry, and Ashley, thank you for so very much for her Bible. I've recently gotten back into God's Word, so this means the world to me. It means the world to us to give them out. God bless you all for all that you guys do for the Fanfare family in Christ, and some personal stuff. Thank you very much, Megan. And I'm happy that you guys are receiving your Bibles and using them. They're not just collecting dust on a shelf someplace. So I absolutely love that. Absolutely love it. And it is our pleasure to give these Bibles to everybody that requests one. I know it's been slow. There's been so many. Let me just tell you how many requests we get. We're still mowing through all the Bible requests, and then we get more every time I post it. And then we're doing the silver giveaway, and on Friday I showed people the silver giveaway. We had almost 2,000 people sign up to win an ounce of silver, and it's still growing. Now, I just want to tell you also, there are some people who say that they're having a problem with the spam filter. Well, what that means is somebody has reported your email into the spam database. People are not having a problem getting on. They're not having a problem registering. If you're getting a spam kick out saying, that means somebody has indeed reported you to a spam database, and the filter is catching you. So I'm going to talk to the tech guys and see if we can reduce the filter a little bit, but we have to keep a spam filter, because otherwise it could be like 5,000 names like Jesus doesn't want silver.com or something stupid. So you have to make sure that you keep the bad trolls out, and that's one of the things we have to do, and sometimes good people get caught in that spam filter. That being said, President Trump is traveling. He's in Malaysia, or heading to Malaysia as we speak right now, for the ASEAN, ASEAN, ASEAN conference, which is basically a conglomeration of the Southeast Asian nations. And I've got a clip for you. He stopped in Qatar, how would you say it, to refill Air Force One. And when he refilled Air Force One, the Emir from Qatar, decided to join him on Air Force One. And then after he met him to go, talk to him, he went back and talked to the reporters. Very interesting what he says. So I'm going to play this. Let's go ahead and dig in. It's very short. It's not like a 20-minute thing. It's only 7 minutes altogether. But if you haven't seen it, this is President Trump this afternoon.
So I want to welcome you, Mr. President. And as soon as I found out that he's coming to refuel, I said, I'm not going to allow him to take off unless I come and say hello to him. So thank you very much, Mr. President. And it's always great seeing you. Well, the Emir is one of the great rulers of the world, not just the Middle East. He's beloved and respected by his country. I don't know what's more important, being beloved or respected. Both. You have a preference? Because you have both. You're one of the few. And the Prime Minister has been my friend and a friend to the world. And we've done a lot together in the last, especially in the last year. What we've done is incredible. Peace to the Middle East. And they were a very big factor in it. So I just want to thank you. I was thinking, we're landing here, we're going to fuel up, and it's such an honor to have you on the plane. I know you don't do this often.
No, the first time.
I don't think he's ever done this, actually. But it's an honor. We have a great ally. He's a great ally. They are a great ally, and these are two great men. And as long as we're together and you have those cameras rolling, I want to just say we express our thanks. And you have a safe Middle East right now. And you're going to keep it that way for a long time.
Well,
for a very long time. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it. It's a great honor to have them on the plane. I only come back to tell you that you were so well behaved. I couldn't believe it. You were so respectful and well behaved. I appreciate it. Okay? He's a great guy, actually. He's a great leader. They helped us a lot. And it was really nice that he came. We were just refueling, and he came and said hello. It was very, very nice. Great man, actually. Great gentleman, too.
How did it go?
Great. I mean, we talked about peace. We have peace in the Middle East. That's what we have. Great peace in the Middle East. He thinks it's enduring. He's never seen anything like it.
and very happy that I got involved. And he helped, and we had a lot of help. We have 59 countries. We have a lot of countries that are signed on. It's just, this should be an enduring peace.
What makes it different?
That everybody agrees. A year ago, it would have been very tough. I think the big thing was when we took out the nuclear power of Iran, when we took out that nuclear capability, which would have happened over the next month to 2 months. That made a whole big difference in the Middle East. It made it possible to do the deal.
Did you talk with them about how the new security arrangement between the U.S. and Qatar will
Yeah, I
work?
talked to them about it. We actually covered a lot of territory. It's working very well. It's all smooth. The U.S. doesn't have to get much involved. They're able to take care of the very substantial nations. And, we have Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar. You have the three, and then you have many behind them, and even with them.
When will the
I mean, if you look, Turkey's involved. Indonesia's involved. Jordan. Egypt. I mean, it's an amazing group of, and many more, many others decide that are a little further away or not as close to the situation. Everybody's on board. It's pretty amazing.
When will they say that?
Confidence that the ceasefire in Gaza will hold?
I think it'll hold, yeah. Oh, it's
Do
gonna
they
hold.
believe it will?
Well, if it doesn't hold, I mean, if it does hold, that will be Hamas. Hamas will be not hard to take care of. It will be very quickly. But I hope it holds for Hamas too, because they gave us their word on something. They said they took out gang members. Well, I hope that's right. But they gave us their word on something, so I think it's going to. And if it doesn't, then they'll have a very, very big problem.
When will the stabilization force be in place, or when do you
Pretty
need it in
soon,
place?
pretty quickly.
Weeks,
So far,
months?
it's just a period of time. I don't want to give you. They're doing it right now. They're actually picking leaders right now. You're going to have peace in the Middle East. This is real peace. It's never happened before. 3,000 years it's never happened. And great respect when he came to the airport, came onto the plane. That's never happened either. And he's a highly respected man. Okay, any other questions?
Let me ask you a bit more.
Send peacekeeping troops into Gaza?
Yeah, they'll do it at the time they need them. And by the way, Israel will go in there very easily. You know that, right? So right there you have a country. But you have the Arab countries are everybody, Muslim, Arab, Israeli, everybody's on board. It's been really an amazing thing. It's a great success. And it's going to be a long-lasting, hopefully everlasting, but long-lasting.
What will Russia have to do for you to reschedule your meeting with Putin?
I'm going to have to know that we're going to make a deal. I'm not going to be wasting my time. I've always had a great relationship with Vladimir Putin, but this has been very disappointing. I thought this would have gone long before peace in the Middle East. I mean, we have Azerbaijan and Armenia. That was very tough. In fact, Putin told me on the phone, he said, boy, that was amazing, because everybody tried to get that done, and they couldn't. I got it done. You had others that, if you look at India and Pakistan, I could say almost any one of the deals that I've already done, I thought would have been more difficult than Russia and Ukraine, but it didn't work out that way. There's a lot of hatred between the two. Between Zelensky and Putin is tremendous hatred.
Will you discuss purchases of Russian oil with Xi Jinping? Are you worried about the Chinese?
I may be discussing it, but China's.
more vocal with the
I don't know. You probably saw it today. China's cutting back very substantially on the purchase of Russia oil, and India's cutting back completely. And we've done sanctions. Thank you very much, everybody. By the way, very, very respectful. I appreciate it.
Mr. President, can you talk about what you hope to walk away from with the meeting with President
China?
Xi? Yes. What are you hoping to walk away?
I think a complete deal. I want our farmers to be taken care of, and he wants things also. We're going to be talking about fentanyl, of course. Fentanyl is killing a lot of people. It comes from China. And we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about a lot of things. I think we have a really good chance of making a very comprehensive deal.
Have you seen this NBA gambling investigation?
Yeah, terrible.
What do you think about it?
What do I think? I think it's very bad. I think it's terrible.
How was
Thank
your
you.
call with the Japanese Prime Minister?
Very good. She's great, beautiful. We're going to be seeing her very soon. She's very friendly. She was very friendly with Abe, as you know, Prime Minister Abe.
What did you guys talk about on the call?
Just look forward to seeing you. I'm going to see her a couple of days. But she was a very, very close ally and friend of Prime Minister Abe, and he was one of my favorites. He was a great man. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
All right, so President Trump, that one was very short. I found it interesting that he almost like chastised them and like patted them on the head like little kids. You were very respectful. Daddy's really proud of you that you didn't do anything embarrassing like you normally do. Good, good, good. Here's some candy. I'm like, these are grown people, and he's like, and what was very interesting, I don't know if you caught it, as he was walking back, somebody whispers, "Heads up." So who knows what they're doing back there, picking their nose, doing whatever, playing solitaire, and somebody goes, "Heads up." And they go, "Oh, how you doing, Mr. President?" He catches them by surprise. They never know when he's going to walk down that hallway. So he was referring to some things that he posted earlier. Let me show you those real quick. He posted this: "We have a very strong peace in the Middle East, and I believe it has a good chance of being everlasting. Hamas is going to have to start returning the bodies of the deceased hostages, including 2 Americans, quickly, or the other countries involved in this great peace will take action." That means boom. Some of the bodies are hard to reach, but others they can return now, and for some reason they are not. Perhaps it has to do with their disarming, but when I said both sides would be treated fairly, that only applies if they comply with their obligations. Let's see what they do over the next 48 hours. I am watching this very closely. Somebody had put up a comment and said, how can there ever be peace when culturally, religiously, these factions never, biblically, will never agree? Well, the way it holds, the way this is going to happen, and you are absolutely right, how is it ever going to work, is that the leaders are agreeing to peace. There is no Hamas country. All the other ones are countries. Israel, Jordan, those are countries that have leaders. There is no country called Hamas, and as such, the deal they're cutting is with the leaders of Hamas. But that doesn't mean, as he spoke, couldn't be some gangs, some faction, somebody who's broken off with 20 other guys that don't want peace and are going to keep trying to, do stuff. So Hamas, if they want peace, they are going to have to be very, very vigilant and saying, wasn't us, it was those guys. And at that point, they're going to say, where are those guys and who are they? So you're right. It is a tenuous peace deal because me personally, I don't see how all of them are going to go along. The Hamas leaders say they're going to go along, but these little factions, these little sleeper cells of nuts, of 10, 20, 50 people who may decide they're going to take matters into their own hands, those are the ones they're going to have to, dare I say, exterminate. Those are the ones, and every time that pops up, you're going to hear it in the news. Well, hey, a missile went into this cave and boom, blew up 20, 30 people. Because the only way to keep the peace is to keep it. Make sure that there's no factions running around, no guerrillas in the mist. They're going to have to take care of them. And the only way they can is to eliminate them. So whoever is currently saying, I'm the leader of Hamas, he's only going to be in control of what he can control. But I'm pretty sure Israel knows that. I'm pretty sure Jordan and all the other countries know there are going to be a lot of hoodlums running around there with weapons and probably missiles and all kinds of stuff, RPGs and IEDs, that aren't going to like being at peace. So that's where, and they've already shown the propensity to take out their own if need be. So this is going to be very tough, but you're going to hear it in the news, 6 people got killed, and they're going to say it was rebels. Because inevitably, that's what they're going to have a hard time doing, is stomping those guys out. In addition, President Trump talked today about Canada. Canada was caught red-handed putting up a fraudulent advertisement on Ronald Reagan's speech on tariffs. They edited the hell out of it. The Reagan Foundation said that they created an ad campaign using selective audio and video of President Ronald Reagan. The ad misrepresents the presidential radio address and did not seek nor receive permission to use and edit the remarks. The Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation and Institute is reviewing its legal options in this matter. Boy, did Canada screw up. The sole purpose of this fraud, in capital letters, was Canada's hope that the United States Supreme Court will come to their rescue on tariffs that they have used for years to hurt the United States. Now the United States is able to defend itself against high and overbearing Canadian tariffs and those from the rest of the world as well. Ronald Reagan loved tariffs, and if you know anything about your history, he indeed did. For purposes of national security and the economy, but Canada said he didn't. Their advertisement was to be taken down immediately, but they let it run last night during the World Series, knowing that it was a total fraud because of their serious misrepresentation of these facts and the hostile act. I am increasing the tariff on Canada by 10% over and above what they are paying right now. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So that's an economic FO. Sooner or later, these people are going to have to realize, don't mess with him. He's not going to give. He is not going to take any crap from these people. And they keep trying to poke him as if it's old Biden or something. And as soon as he gets poked, you slap back harder. You get punched, your counter punch has to be harder. They're not learning. Ask Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer right now. These people aren't learning. They keep trying to test him. Well, he'll give on this one, won't he? Nope. Here comes the uppercut. And then this one was last night at 10 o'clock. And this is a calm, most assuredly, and it lets you know what indeed is coming. Let me show you this one. Just in, documents show conclusively that Christopher Wray, deranged Jack Smith, Merrick Garland, Lisa Monaco, and other crooked lowlifes from the failed Biden administration signed off on Operation Arctic Frost. They spied on senators and congressmen and women and even tapped their calls. They cheated and rigged the 2020 presidential election. These radical left lunatics should be prosecuted for their illegal and highly unethical behavior. The Reaper is coming for them. Obviously, he put the finger on them. He pushed the button on them. They're next. They are next in the barrel. Don't know if it's Monday, don't know if it's Tuesday, but it's coming. Christopher Wray, Jack Smith, Merrick Garland, Lisa Monaco, and other crooked lowlifes. Your number is going to get called real soon here. Real soon. And I love that it does. You guys deserve everything coming your way. I don't care if you call it the retribution tour. I don't care if you say it's revenge. It's what you broke the law, you get charged. No deals. Well, maybe. There might be deals. Who knows? Maybe somebody will sit and come before the music stops and say, I can tell you what's going on. It was this dude, Obama. Maybe that is what's going to happen. So that's everything from Trump world as of right now. There may be some, as I said, he's traveling to Malaysia, and he's supposed to do a conference tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern, which I will record and have for tomorrow's show. I'm not going to be, probably not going to be available at 10 o'clock. Notre Dame's not playing, but there's probably some football. We're going to go out to dinner, so I'll record that. All right, so let me first tell you about, let's see who's up here on this, as Rush Limbaugh used to say, the obscene profit break. I don't think it's obscene, but anyway, microplastics are infiltrating every part of our lives. Scientists estimate we now consume a credit card's worth of plastic every single week, through our food, through our water, and even the air we breathe. One study found plastic particles in 100% of human lung samples. Nobody is safe from exposure, but it gets worse. These plastics don't just sit in your body, they cross your gut lining, and they leach into your blood, and they disrupt everything. They've been shown to alter gut bacteria, the good bacteria, and suppress your immune response and increase your risk for neurodegenerative diseases. It also causes metabolic disorders and even cancer. Some plastic toxins like BPA and phthalates mimic hormones, and they interfere with fertility and damage DNA. Even if you eat clean clean foods and avoid packaged foods. You can't opt out. You can't get away from this. And there's some stuff that you can find out about BPA, and your gut can help you fight back. But what you've got to do is look at something like Brightcore Nutrition's Kimchi 1. It's packed with over 900 probiotic strains unique to kimchi and proven to break down harmful BPA, helping you detox from the inside out. It doesn't just support digestion, it helps protect your cells, your brain, your hormones, and your future. Your body was never designed to handle plastic, but your gut was designed to protect you. You just have to give it the right tools. And one of those tools would be Kimchi 1. And we're making it available to everybody who wants one. Everyone who wants a bottle of Kimchi 1 today, you can get 25% off with the code BARRY, or by clicking the link below in the description. Or for an even better deal, you can call my friends at Brightcore for up to 50% off of your order and free shipping. Give them a call now. 888-418-6738. That's 888-418-6738. Or you can go to mybrightcore.com/Barry. Do not adjust your screen. This is Barry talking. I'm going to give a warning right now. I am not talking about people who need food stamps. And when I say need, I'm talking about people who are mentally affected or have physical infirmities, disabled, handicapness. That's what we're going to talk about. And so I had to make the little graphic. I had to make the little graphic to spell it out so people do not get upset, so that they understand I am not talking about you. If you need SNAP benefits for any period of time, either as a bridge from to take care of a bad situation, or if someone if their mental acuity isn't what's right, or if they have a physical infirmity. That being said, the rest of these people need to deal with something. I got an email. I posted this earlier. Where is this email? And this was an actual email that I got at 1:50 in the morning. And yes, I was still up. It says, Barry, I'm on SNAP and I'm disabled. I'm a disabled Republican, so attacking all that are on SNAP as Democrats, I can't work due to lung issues. So do I deserve to lose my SNAP benefits for not being able to work? No, not talking about you. Listen. I can't believe I've said it so many times. Today I felt I needed to put the warning up. I needed people to understand we are not talking about you. We're talking about the welfare queens. We're talking about the welfare princes. These people who just want to game the system. So today is the 25th day of the shutdown. It is October 25th if you're watching this video live. And in less than 6 or 7 days, what is going to happen, it seems, is the SNAP benefits are going to end. And I don't know if people have been making rage bait videos and just trying to get clicks and likes, because some of this stuff is unbelievable that they actually feel this way. So I'll give some of them the benefit of doubt that they're trying to cash in on TikTok. But I'm pretty sure there's quite a few that are serious, who have no intention on being productive members of society and are going to just try to gang rush their way into stealing food from Walmart and other grocery stores. They're going as far as they're creating their own little No Kings event. This is the No Pay event. This is the Hood Rat event. We are going to stick together November 3rd at 6:30. We're going to go to Walmart. We're going to Walmart, and at 7:30, we're going to walk out of Walmart with our buggies. They can't catch everybody. All you got to do is run. We have to stick together. It doesn't even matter. Remember, put it in your calendar. November 3rd, 6:30 to 7:30. You better be running off that. Well, thank you very much for the heads up. Thank you for the scheduling. I'm pretty sure the po-po in the various cities are, very appreciative of your scheduling. I will be there with my camera. I can't wait to see some of y'all get busted and knocked down on the pavement and look like complete fools. Are you effing kidding me? Are you really telling people in advance the time when you're going to commit a crime? At least the other ones I said, oh yeah, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to take what I want. I don't know where you are. I don't know how you're going to do it. I definitely don't know what time. But you're telling me you're actually posting now, complete with the requisite crazy glasses. Just so you know, I wouldn't get these glasses if I were you. If you're on the right, don't go getting those glasses. It's definitely part of the uniform. But these people are now telegraphing where they're going to be. I always tell you about skate where the puck is going to be. Well, now I know the puck is going to be in Walmart parking lots at about 6:30 on November 3rd. And all the po-po in all the cities across the country now know it as well. That's called shooting fish in a barrel. Can't wait to see how this works out. I'm gonna have to get me like some sort of shirt that says press, because this is going to be awesome. I'm gonna get so much footage. I can't wait to see what happens, you morons. You absolute morons. I am going to steal. Here's when I'm going to steal. And then you can try to catch me. I'm pretty sure the people we've been watching in the video, they're no Speedy Gonzalez's. They're not going to be moving all that fast. If you know what I mean, and I think you do. It's like, number one, how are you going to run with a buggy? This is like Supercart Mania. What's that game show where they all run around the store? Oh, this is going to be fantastic. Oops, don't trip. You just won. You want a trip to the pokey. Roll over. Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, hit her again for me. Yeah, there you go. Oh, the wig came off. That's 10 points more. Oh, you broke a couple fake nails. That's like 5% more. I'm joking, but you know what I'm talking about. You've seen these people. I don't think y'all cut out for what's about to happen. You're Breaking Bad on video, but you're going to go into a store with cameras, and you've announced the day in advance that you are going to go steal from people. Good luck. I can't wait. I wonder how many wigs I'll be able to... No, I'm not going to pick them up, but how many loose wigs... Oh, there's another. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. These people are not too bright. Maybe that's why they're on food stamps. Maybe now you can tell somebody, I'm on food stamps because I'm not too smart, because I'm telling everybody when I'm going to steal. So I posted about this one woman, and I wasn't being mean. I'm serious. I wasn't being mean because I want to cover this, because I think it needs to be talked about. This woman here, which I will show you, she goes on for 1 minute and 30 seconds, and she talks about how she is in a really bad way. And I just put a simple question: what will you tell her? And I'm surprised I got a whole bunch of responses. Many of them the right responses. So before we continue, let's go ahead and, be sure I do this and give you the warning. Because I don't want any more emails at 2 o'clock in the morning. And let's see what this ma'am had to say. You ready? Let's jump in.
What are we supposed to do? Like, literally, what the are we supposed to do? Nobody wants to give anybody assistance.
All right, let's stop there real quick so I can give her some, what are we supposed to do? Here's the first thing that I picked up as I looked at this video. The very first thing I picked up. You have to, as I would say, unfrig yourself. You guys can fill in frig. Un-F yourself. Because right now you are effed. I own a business. I own a couple of businesses. And if you came in to apply, guess what? Your resume gets tossed. In order to get a job that's probably going to pay you what you need, you're going to have to un-F yourself. Meaning, get that crap out of your hair. Get that crap out of your face. Because more than likely, the job you're going to have is around other people, whether it's in an office or in a retail environment, and nobody wants to hire that. Sorry, unless Starbucks is hiring, that's about it. And even they are like, well, you got to put on a uniform and look presentable to clients. The customers, the people that you want to pay you, don't want to see what you look like right now. Sorry, it's a cold, hard truth. That's step one. Number two, what are you going to give me isn't really something at this point that many people are too kind about. You don't look like you've missed too many, and I can say it because I'm no svelte guy either. So it's easy to say, well, Barry, you haven't missed any meals. Nope, she hasn't either. Except the difference is I'm paying for mine. I'm not demanding that you pay for my meals. She's demanding that people pay for her meals. So there's your first problem. Okay, let's continue.
If you work, if you barely make enough to get by, nobody wants to help. And then everybody says, call here, apply there. No one will help. Because on paper, I make too much. I would love to know where that money goes.
She's asking other people where her paycheck goes. I'm sorry, honey, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you. I can't even begin to tell you where you spend your money. So that's a big problem. I can't begin to tell you where the money goes. You got an issue right there. You got a major issue. You get paid every 2 weeks, every week, and I can't tell you where the money goes. That's problem number one. Step back and start putting yourself on a budget. Start putting yourself in and check your income versus your expenses. And if your income is not covering your expenses, you only got one choice. No, you have two choices. Make more income or cut expenses. That's it. But you're choosing door number 3. Somebody give me some more money. So if you're going to need additional funds, at first, show Americans that you got your own crap together. That you could explain to somebody, I make this much and I spend this much and I'm not making it. But telling people, I work, but I got no idea where the money goes. Problem. Big problem.
I make $19 an hour. And because I make $19 an hour and I work 40 hours a week, which I don't.
Hold on. I work I get paid $19 an hour. I work 40 hours, but I don't. Woosa. What in the hell are you talking about? You either work 40 hours or you don't work 40 hours. Which one is it? Please talk to us.
I don't. When you include my breaks, I'm lucky if I get 7 hours a day.
All right, now we're getting somewhere. If you include her breaks, she gets 7 hours a day. Well, let's do the math. She makes, well, let's just round it to 20. 20 bucks an hour. She works 7 hours a day. She makes $140. Wow, you make $140 a day gross. You're not doing all that bad. Oh, that's right. You got this thing called taxes you have to take care of. So 140 times what? 5 days a week. That's what, $600? 14 times 5, yeah, about $700. You're not doing all that bad, honey. What's the problem here? I'm trying to understand. You make $700 a week. Yeah, I know you're not in the 1%, but there's a lot of people who ain't making $700 a week. See, it goes back to your first problem. You don't know where the money goes. I don't know if somebody's reaching in through the window and getting into your stash, or your bank's getting pilfered, or somebody's got access to your credit card. But if you don't know where $700 a week is going, you had a problem. You had a big problem.
My checks are never $500, and I make $19 an hour.
No? Yeah. I guess nobody has ever introduced her to Mr. FICO. My checks are never $500. And you're still purple-haired with rings and stuff, and you're not even understanding what the Democrats are doing to you? You just met Mr. FICO. Mr. FICO came and knocked on your door and said, yeah, let me take that first, okay? Let me just do that. See, you've been voting for the wrong person. You've been hanging out with the wrong people, the other purple hairs who all say the Democrats, Republicans are nasty, and they're taking your money. So you're learning what income tax is all about. You didn't have to worry about that before, but now you do. So welcome to the real world. But it's still, by her own admission, taking home about $500 a week. Now, right now, some of you guys are like, what's the problem here?
So I make too much for food stamps, which people aren't even getting right now. WIC is going to cut me off any...
Hold on. WIC too. So we have another variable here. I would assume WIC, Women and Infant Children, WIC, there is another person here that's got to be fed and taken care of with that $500. So there's your other problem there, honey. Maybe, perhaps, you should be living a better life or get a better man. Because whatever that child is doing, you should be able to reach in and tap into, Freddie's bank account and say, you need to owe me something. So now we've got even more information. So now we know she makes $500, plus she has WIC, which means she has a baby. Okay.
Day because I make too much. I just got a call from my doctor because my bill is in an outstanding balance, and she said, well, we'll get you over to financial aid.
Oh, okay, so now you're not only how you don't know where your money's going, we now know it's not going to bills. So you've proven a lack of credit worthiness. You see where this is going? You see how it all compounds, and then they complain that, it's not fair, you're taking away my food stamps, when it sounds like she's making the wrong calls. That call she's making, she should have made to a financial counselor. Can you look at me and say, what's going on here? I'm bringing home $500 a week, and I don't even know where the money's going. And I'm not paying my bills, and the doctor's office said they're going to send me to collections. But she's not getting it. She's not getting it.
I make too much. I make too much. So what the heck am I supposed to do?
You feel for people like this. You feel because earlier when I was playing the warning and saying, this doesn't count for people who are mentally affirmed or deficient, maybe she's got issues. Because something doesn't sound right. She doesn't sound like the welfare queens. She sounds like somebody who has no control over her life right now. Yet, they expect that the government is supposed to take care of them. There is no personal accountability. I'm making calls because people need to tell me and get me what I need. See, one of the problems I have with the whole SNAP program, as I said, I played the warning, I won't play it again, is that there may be a legion of people at this point who are beyond help. I hate even saying it. There are 42 million people getting food stamps. 42 million. If there's only 300 million plus in the country, that means nearly 15% of the people here, I know we're counting the newcomers as well, 15% of the people are getting food stamps, while the other 85% are paying for the 15%, who don't seem to have any grip on life. Forget the food stamp part. There is a person you just saw who has no ability to function as an adult. And so what the problem is, the Democrats have bred a legion of people who have no idea what they're supposed to do, and it seems as though their only skill is being able to pump out babies and vote. That's it. I mean, she's making $19 an hour. I don't know where she's from, but she must be doing something to get $19 an hour, but she has no clue where the money goes. Her own words. So I don't have the answer for this problem, but I know people are tired of it. And I urge you, I compel you, I demand that you begin going after the people who can be saved. And what do I mean by that? We're not going to be able to help many of these people. They are too far gone, and God can see where they're going. But at this point, and they don't want to change, at this point, we need to focus on kids in high school, my grandson's age, even the younger girls who are in grammar school, letting them know you don't want to go down this path. You need to have marketability. It is not society's job to make sure you're housed and fed. And so when you're seeing people like this and they're just breaking down, it's because, one, they never obviously don't have a support group. There's no parents, there's no grandparents, there's no uncles, there's no aunts. There's nobody like when you and I grew up and we heard the story about, you're raised by a village. Yeah, I had aunts and uncles and grandparents, everybody. Everybody pitched in. Hey, you need some new baseball cleats? Yeah, here you go. Oh, thanks, Uncle Freddie. There were people around us. The Democrats have destroyed the nuclear family. You're seeing the product right now. These kids are alone. And I feel for them in that regard because they didn't have family. They don't have Christ. They don't have skills. And they're just out there now. The only skill being pump out kids and vote. And the Democrats love that. They've abandoned a generation. And now these people are revolting. Wait a minute, you're not going to give me my meal this week? No. You got to get it yourself somehow. And many people had it to hear. Maybe even you.
Walmart said they're thinking about closing their doors on November 1st to where you can only order your food and your groceries online.
It was funny. Next week or the week after that is the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show. And the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, as you would imagine, has huge yachts, giant boats, all kinds of stuff you imagine there. And it's open to the public. You can walk around and you can see the boats. And a lot of people want to get on the boat. And so they can take pictures. And obviously some people there are to look to buy a new vessel. Well, in order to get on some of the vessels, you have to give them your ID. And then they have to run a credit check. What? Yeah. Before you even get on, I need to know that I should waste my time even talking to you. You can't go shopping here unless you can prove you can afford to shop here. So this boat here you're looking at is about $8 million. We're going to have to run a quick check and make sure you can cover that. That's where we're headed now with groceries? Walmart's like, nah, you can't even come in, man. I don't know if you got any money in your wallet. So at this point, We're not putting all the chains and plastic all over the store. We're just not letting you in unless you can prove to us you got the money. Or you can go shop online. We'll even deliver it for you. But you're not going to come in here and steal.
The Brokies made a threat towards Walmart and said that if the government shuts off food, SNAP, they're going straight to the Walmart to get everything they need. And now every Walmart has a police officer on standby, and they're thinking about not opening the doors.
Smart business decision in certain areas. And that way you can't get accused of discrimination. Well, why'd you let him in and not me? Because I'm black? No, everybody coming in, you're going to have to swipe your card. We'll take a deposit. It's our business decision. I don't know how they're going to regulate this. You're going to see the people on the left screaming, oh, they're not even letting people in the store. No, I don't want, you're telling people we're going to steal. I can't even imagine what you would do in the store if you got caught. And so people are in advance right now, including myself and Rob, like, number one, I ain't going. I'm like, I'm going. I'm going to get me some good content. I can't wait to go get good content. I may have to hire a crew to go with me. Oh, I can't wait. But those people who are interested in shopping, especially some of the older people who live down here, man, you might want to stay away from stores between like November 1st and November 4th if this thing goes down. You might want to get your stuff online, have it delivered. Stay away from these places.
Until this situation has passed. There's a thing called a reality check in America. And your crutch, you use the American taxpayers' money as a crutch.
Anybody find him to be lying or telling a half-truth? See, this is what has happened. They have bred a legion of zombies who don't understand that they've been giving the gruel by the head eagle or whatever and been feeding them, and they have no way of fending for themselves. 42 million. Let's say we take 20% off the top there for people who are, have mental issues or are physically unable. So we take that 20% off. That's 8 million. There's still like 20 million plus, 30 million plus people who are just coasting, who've just used to every single month it being there, to the point where now 6 days in advance, they're freaking out that the possibility that it won't be there. Not even that it's not there yet, that there's even a possibility there. I'm going to come back to that.
For you to have an easy life, and there's nothing wrong with acquiescing to the new arrangements for you. Get a job. Go through the adjustment period of not having what you need for a little bit, but maybe that teaches you a lesson.
That good thing he's black, because there'd be a whole bunch of people, that's racist, because that's going to be the first thing that's said. You're telling me how I got to act. Yeah. You got to act like an adult. Has nothing to do with your color. You are a freestanding adult, and you can't figure out right now what you need to do to feed your family or yourself. You can't figure it out. So you're acting out and you're being pissed off when you got, again, this is, we're talking 7 days from now, and we've been talking about this for like a couple days. So you've had 10 days notice. I've made my analogies to the hurricane offshore. You know it's coming. You're hoping that President Trump finds a way to take care of it. But other than that, you can't just sit there and hope. You got to do something.
It's not over, but do something. It's not free to live in America for anyone. And just because you got away this long, didn't mean that that was a forever thing.
They didn't realize that. They've gotten away with it for so long, it became comfortable. Nobody ever told them, no, you can't keep doing it this way. So one of the things I looked at, because I try to look at both sides, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, so what you're telling me is you got your pantry stocked. You got paid in October. You got your EBT, and since you've been on EBT, you know pretty much, I would hope, how you spread your groceries out, and you're good until 31st, 1st. Okay. So now, if you've got enough food to last you till the 1st, which you should be, then now you've got 6 days to go get more food. So, in this 6-day period, you got two options. Go to a food bank, go to a church, make some money. You see, there are jobs you can do and things you can do today to get paid today. There are temporary help agencies. There are different places you can go and say, I'm willing to work today can I get paid today? You might not like the job, but that's the other problem. You can't settle anymore. You have to do whatever it takes. That's something these people have not been taught. They have not been taught that you need to do whatever you got to do. And I'm not meaning anything illicit. I'm not meaning anything illegal. But if you got to go clean toilets in a hotel, you need to go clean toilets in a hotel. If you need to dump the grease oil out of a restaurant each night, you got to go dump the greasy oil out of a restaurant each night. You see, that's what adults do. Adults figure out, hey, listen, my family, my kids, we need to eat. We need to do something. And many people don't have 6 and 7 days notice. I got to feed their kids today. And so you need to begin looking, at a better job and something temporary. See, right now, sleep is an option for you. It is not necessary. You're going to have to work a third shift someplace. You're going to have to do anything you can possibly do to make sure you've got money on November 1st to pay for your own groceries. Are you ready to do that? How about those calls you're making that you're asking people for money? Maybe you call people and ask them for a job. Maybe perhaps that's what you should be doing. I mean, I went just here in the state of Florida where I am. Where's this page? Let me see if I can show this to you. I found this page. It was very simple. The page I went to says, I said, show me the top paying jobs in Florida. Let me make that better so you guys can see it. And this is from the Florida Chamber of Commerce. And the Florida Chamber of Commerce put this together and says top 30 high demand careers. And you can go through it. So let's say you're in Florida. They've got like a little PowerPoint here. Top 30 high demand careers through 2032. And so it gives you table of contents and everything else. And it tells you the 30 top high demand careers statewide. And by county, it just keeps going and pages and pages and pages. Let me just go to where I live in Palm Beach County, since that's where I am. Going through the pages: Citrus, Levy, Lake Orange, Brevard, Hillsborough, I think Hernando, Polk. We got to be coming up. We're probably close here to the next. Come on. There we go. Palm Beach County. All right. Let me see if I can make this bigger. I guess does it have a bigger button? I don't see the bigger button. But anyway, they're right there. Now, obviously, you're not going to be able, depending on who you are, you're not going to be able to do all of these jobs. and it's not letting me do it. Okay, but in any event, it's like pages and pages and pages of different jobs that you could do in the state of Florida, actually in Palm Beach County. They're right there. And on the far column, you can't see it, it's too small, but it tells you what education you need. So just like knowing where the puck is going, you go find a job that's paying well. And for those people who are younger, those people who are not yet part of the government machine, perhaps what you can do at this point is begin getting ready for one of these jobs. I want to be a XYZ. I want to work in HVAC. I want to be a plumber. You can be a woman and be a plumber. I want to be a carpenter. I want to be an apprentice. I want to do this so that by the time I am 22, if I'm not going to college, maybe you shouldn't even go to college, I will know I will have a skill that will pay me to do what I need to do. Why are you waiting until it's too late? Until you have a baby with no daddy, or 3 of them, or 4 of them, and your only substance at this point is to have the government, or rather us, take care of you. We will give you the options. You're just making the wrong phone calls. Maybe the person you're asking on the phone call, hey, you should say to them, well, I understand. I owe the doctor. Do you guys need anybody to come and wash your floors? Whatever your skill level is, you need to solve the problem. You've given up. And you expect society to come in and rescue you again and again every month. Why is it that we wouldn't say, hey, listen, you know what? We'll help you November 1st. We're going to help you, but here's what we need you to do. We need you to go learn how to do X, Y, or Z. And if you don't show up, then there is no December 1st. Why can't we do that? We should. Other people are.
Out here celebrating and not feeling bad that there are going to be people that are going to go without food next month. You are a shit person, bro. Majority of the middle class has been planning for the holidays since at least June. Putting money away, making sure we had some kind of plan, what this was going to look like, laying out how much of it's going to cost. Like, we had planned for this. Planned for it every fucking year. The majority of people who are out here hustling and trying to take care of their families and just get shit done without needing to depend on government welfare or the kindness of our neighbor's paycheck is historically and astronomically overlooked. It seems to only now be a big deal because we're not standing in solidarity with the people who aren't getting their food stamps next month. I didn't see anybody out here celebrating us, not once, not ever, unless it's campaign season. Then everybody wants to talk about the middle class. During campaign season, everybody wants to talk about the working American. As soon as they get into office, it's game over. You don't hear about it ever again. Now everybody wants to condemn these people. Everybody wants to come down on these people because we're not more upset.
See, that's exactly, she's exactly right. That's the problem here, is that they've wanted you to feel guilty. They just need some food, and you have everything. They don't have anything. Don't you feel bad? Collectively, at this point, we need to say, hell no, we don't feel bad. We're compassionate. We're willing to help. We're not really willing to subsidize. I'm pretty sure everybody who's watching this video and who will watch this video would say, I have a heart. I would love to help you during the holiday season. I would love to see you, make sure your kids eat around Thanksgiving. But don't come back to me in February and saying, I still ain't got no way to eat. See, that's where the problem is. They no longer want help. They want sustenance. And worse than that, they expect sustenance. I grew up, of course, I needed help. Everybody at some point probably needs help, but it's called help. And that's what part of the word they're not understanding. It doesn't mean crutch. Wow, man, I just got in a bad way. My boss stiffed me. I got drunk. I didn't show up for work. I got fired. I got this woman pregnant. Whatever the excuse is, hey, I'll help you out. I will help you out. Really? You would do that for me? I will help you out. And the phone rings 2 months from now. Yeah, what's up? Oh, you need help again? Okay, what did you do since the last time? Oh, you don't want to explain yourself. You don't want help. You just want money. See, money and what we should be doing, money should have consequences. We should all be giving. We should all be helpful. It's a Christ-like thing to do. Help somebody when they are in need. But that need starts going into dependability instead of accountability. And that's where they've tried to brainwash you into thinking, you got to take care of these people forever.
That people aren't going to eat next month. We're not more upset. That children are going to go hungry for Thanksgiving. We're not more upset about that. We're not more upset because we're too busy busting our asses trying to take care of our own kids. We're not more upset because for the last 6, 7, 8 months, we sat here and watched TikToker after TikToker come out on this app and brag about the thousands and thousands of dollars that they get every single month in government assistance, and then flip the middle finger to every single hardworking American out here as if they are owed something.
She ain't lying. Think about it. I've seen the videos, and people, number one, they buy the crappiest stuff, and that's why they look the way they do, and they don't do any sort of squirrel harvesting. They don't put anything away. Everything is for the here and now, because they don't have to worry about putting something away, because next month the government's going to give them more. It keeps coming. Where you and I grew up, and the only thing that kept coming is if we had a job. How many times growing up your friends like, hey, you want to go have a beer? We're going to go. Nah, I can't afford it. I can't do it this weekend. I'm a little short. And your friends say, I got you. But most people like, I don't need you to get me for beer. If I need you, Fred, yeah, I'll give you a call. I might need it for gas. How's that? Okay, yeah, whatever. Call me if you can. I'm not going to go out and get into Hawk for drinks. I got you. Don't worry. Just come on out. We'll take care of it. No, man. I don't need to party that much. I need to make sure I can afford to drive to work next week. Can I call you if I need help with gas? Sure. See, that's what help is. And the idea behind it, which they never learn, is paying it forward. You see, I've been blessed. I have been blessed beyond belief. And so when we give out Bibles and we give out silver and we give away hats and we give away hoodies, we do all these things, it's because people have asked me many times, Barry, don't you want to start a store? No. I do not need to make money off of people just so they can have a hat or a sweatshirt. We will give them away. And I've had that talk with Ashley, and the first time she's like, huh? You're going to give it away? We're giving it away. We are going to show people and give back to the community that we are building. Let people know we completely appreciate their patronage to the point where you need a Bible, you're going to get a Bible. It might take you a while, but you're going to get a Bible. If you want to win a hoodie, you're going to win a hoodie. You want some silver, you're going to win some silver. You have to show people that you care about them. But at the same token, and this is where people shouldn't be upset, that can have conditions. And they don't want to have any conditions whatsoever.
Entitled to somebody else's paycheck, and I don't give a what the percentage is. I do not care. Nobody wanted to talk about us then. Nobody gave a shit about us then. The only person who seemed to give a shit about us on this fucking app was me. Instead of being pissed off at the people who blatantly, embracingly abused the program and they came out on the internet and bragged about it, you're pissed off at us because we don't feel bad enough. You're pissed off at us because we're not standing in solidarity with these people trying to get them their free fucking shit. Are you high? Go be mad at the people that fucking ruined it for everybody. Go be mad at the people that made all of these food stamp hauls, the thousands of dollars. Go be mad.
You see, one of the things I saw when I saw this video is people have had enough. They've had enough. You've tapped that well way too much, and now there's too much exposure. And we can see, it was a behind-the-scenes thing. It used to be, I can't afford to do that. And it had a humbling effect. And now it has gone beyond humbling to expect it and give me my stuff and shut up. I'm like, wait a second. You're asking me to help you? No, I'm asking you to give me my money. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think your last name is Cunningham. So you can go ahead and kiss my behind.
The lady that bought hundreds of dollars worth of fresh produce for her squirrels while she purchased a bunch of prepackaged junk for her daughter, all the while paying for it with the entirety of the taxpayer dollars. You can go be pissed at them. They ruined it for you. They ruined it for everybody. For the people that really did need the SNAP, for the old people, for the elderly, go be pissed at them. Were you in their comments calling them out? Because when I started this series, I didn't see anybody. All I saw was unbridled support. I saw nothing. It is not the middle class's fault for what is going on with the government shutdown and your food stamps. You want to be mad at somebody? You want to be pissed off because you're not getting what you think you deserve or you're not getting the help that you need? Go be mad at the people that exploited it. This is fucking asinine.
Somebody's pissed off. Somebody's really pissed off. And I'm pretty sure that's the temperature of America right now, watching these people make these videos. The worst thing they could have done was to make these videos telling people, especially the white people, because they've been calling white people out, saying, we better have this next week. And if we don't, we're going to go into everything and we're going to steal it. We're going to take... Whoa, wait a second. Maybe you shouldn't have made these videos. Now you've got people turned against you going, good luck. Hope it works out for you. Now you've got businesses the same way. Now you're demanding it as if you are an employee, as if you are a relative. You know, charity begins at home. You ain't at home with me. And so when Robin and I give, and we give to a church, and we give to shelters and things of that nature, it's with a good, kind heart. It is with a God-filled heart to help people. Help. I have never, ever yet heard from any charity who's called up and said, you're kind of late with that, okay? Yeah, you need to cut the check. What would happen if somebody said that to you? What if the Salvation Army called you and said, hey man, you were supposed to have that payment in here by October 15th. You're late. What in the hell are you doing? And if you don't get me that payment by October 15th, I will come to your house, kick in your door, and make sure you give me... It never happened. But these people feel free to say that. And so we've all had enough. And that's why I'm playing the warning, because right now, or played the warning, is because now you know I am not talking about the people who need the bridge. Good people in bad situations. I'm talking about these loafers, these leeches. And that's how I feel about them. And because I feel about them, let me just tell you, because I'm going to take, as Rush Limbaugh said, an obscene profit break. All right? All right. All right, so let's be clear. Cryptocurrency is no longer emerging. It is here. And this latest move cements the reality in the biggest way yet. Trump Media Group, yeah, that Trump, just inked a massive $6.4 billion deal with Crypto.com, the world's top crypto platform. They're teaming up to scoop up $6.4 billion in CRO. So you know what? Did I do this right? Wait a second. Wait 1 second. All right. So now you're going to laugh at me. Because here's Barry doing his thing, and he did it without making sure that he clicked the right buttons. Wait 1 second. And so I might have to do that over. You might have to bear with me for a second. Where's the button? Okay. Yeah, I got to do that so you can't see me. So anyway, now I got to go back and read that all over again because I was wrong. So bear with me. If you don't do it the right way, it doesn't count. Like your parents probably have told you, if you don't do things the right way, then you don't deserve to get paid. So I am going to wait, and then we're going to get to it, and I just have to do it a certain way, otherwise it doesn't happen. I apologize. Please bear with me. I'm in a new office place here, and I hit the wrong button sometimes. So in any event, let me get to this. Talk amongst yourselves. I apologize, but I have deadlines and commitments, obligations, and all kinds of things like that to take care of. So, woosah, we're going to do it all over again from the top. Live video does not let you rewind. Live video means you just got to keep going. So let's keep going and do it the right way. They're going to see this and go, what, Barry, what were you doing? I got to do it over again. All right, so you ready? If you guys haven't followed crypto, some of you haven't, you may want to jump in this. See, let's be clear. At this point, cryptocurrency is no longer emerging. It's here, and this latest move cements that reality in the biggest way yet. Trump Media Group just inked a massive $6.4 billion deal with Crypto.com, the world's top crypto platform. They're teaming up with President Trump, Trump Media Group, to do this and buy CRO. CRO is Kronos, the powerhouse token that fuels fast, low-fee DeFi, staking rewards in real-world perks like cashback on your spends to launch America's first CRO treasury. When it's done, this new company will be the biggest CRO holder out there. If you want in on the action, head to Crypto.com today and grab some CRO. Let's make crypto great again. All right, so I got it done, and I'm through with it, so that works. All right, so let's take some comments on what you guys have heard thus far in regards to this craziness. Let's see here. I never got stimulus checks. No foodies, no cash benefits. I work for everything I have. Great. Absolutely. Absolutely. Barry, we need a Bible. We even have my uncle's trench Bible from World War II. Wow. Let me see if I have the graphic here. I'll put that up where you guys can order a Bible. Did I bring? Oh, I have it. Okay, great. Go here. Go to, let me move that comment so you guys can see it. Where are we? Go to fanfareshop.org/Bible. If you go to fanfareshop.org/Bible, you can request a Bible and we will get it out to you as soon as possible. I understand it's been taking some time, so just go ahead and do that. Also, I haven't showed you guys this in a while. If you'd like, tomorrow I'm going to drop a couple videos people have made. If you'd like to go to fanfareshop.org/submit video, it'll take you to a page where you can go ahead and sign up and actually record a video that I will play for people. Let's see here. Patricia says she can only afford to eat one meal a day. Wow. Wow. I believe, and never hand out money to panhandlers, only food. Yeah, I've done that. I made that mistake myself. And now whenever I see, and I want to give people something, I will take them inside. And you'll be amazed how many of them say no. Let's see here. I've got at least 6 Bibles. Good for you. Good. When people come upon hard times is different than being lazy and entitled. Yep, good people in bad situations. That's exactly what I say. People don't understand it's for the freeloaders. The program isn't for freeloaders. The program has a good intent. It just got abused. It just got completely abused. If you're out of work, you need to feed your family. There should be no reason. It's sort of like, I don't understand why food stamps isn't treated like unemployment. Unemployment, you got to make sure you have a work requirement. You got to apply for so many jobs, and then they will go ahead and give you money. Breaking, SB says, in response to Canada intentionally airing Canadian propaganda, Trump has raised tariffs another 10%. Yes, I covered that earlier. Somebody says, thank you, Elon Musk. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw, but the guy who supposedly gave the money for the military to eat, let me see if I can find that article, because what's really funny, let me see if I can find this for you and show it to you. All right, this is the guy that they're assuming gave the money. Timothy Mellon, the billionaire heir who reportedly just gave $130 million so our troops wouldn't miss a paycheck, He lives reclusively in Wyoming and hasn't even had his photo published in decades. A rare example of a billionaire funding the government, not lobbying it. And so the New York Times and a bunch of people decided that they were going to talk about Timothy Mellon from the Carnegie Mellon and Mellon family. Old money. And I thought to myself, you think you're going to dox somebody like that? You think somebody who has the ability to write a check for $130 million is worried about you doxing him? You think you're going to hurt his family's business? That's how stupid these people are. That's how insane. This isn't a Tesla dealership. This isn't someone who's... This is the Mellon family, you morons. There's nothing you can do to the Mellon family. That's like saying we're gonna boycott the Rockefellers. Go ahead. There's nothing you can do to the Mellon family. In fact, this guy, he doesn't care, but they're probably out there talking right now. We're gonna tell everybody that he did it. No, it ain't gonna work that way. Definitely ain't gonna work that way. All right, so let me move into this next story. I have to be careful with this. The subject matter should be something we can scrutinize, something we should talk about. But the media and the powers that be here will probably seek to excoriate people who talk about this. So I'm going to go out on a limb today. I don't know how far I can go without being smacked, but that's too bad. It needs to be talked about. And some of you guys are probably thinking, what is Barry talking about? Well, this.
I want to use this moment to speak to the Muslims of New York City. I want to speak to the memory of my aunt. Who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab.
Like I said, you got to be careful here. After September 11th, which had nothing to do with your aunt, not even this much, the fact that you're playing victim, your family was a victim of September 11th, is insulting at best. You might as well walk down the streets of New York and spit in people's faces. You're making it about you and your religion and your family and saying she couldn't even take the subway. Well, you know what? It's 2025 and I got to get strip searched when I walk through an airport. I got to make sure I bend over and let them cough and grab the things under there and pat you down. We didn't have to do that. Many of you people may be too young to remember, that's not how you used to get on airplanes. You didn't have to dump out a drink. You didn't have to put only an ounce of shampoo. You could, and this guy, who we all watch people jump off of buildings, this guy knows that we saw people ablaze. We found body parts. And you're upset and my aunt couldn't get on a subway. Really? How many people can't get on subways from September 11th? Maybe not even they were involved in the accident, the trauma of not being able to go into a closed tube. How many people in New York just won't even get in a subway? And you have the nerve to stand up on a stump and make this about you and your family? Then it got worse.
6 years ago, shortly after I had announced I was running for assembly, a well-meaning Muslim uncle pulled me aside. He smiled softly and looked at me with care. In a quiet voice, he told me I did not have to tell people I was Muslim. His eyes kind, his beard...
Notice, he never addressed the people who were killed. Notice he never mentions the victims. Notice he doesn't mention what happened to the entirety of the city that he now wants to represent. The person who owned the bodega, the guy who was a taxi driver. None of that matters. What matters to him is, I'm not able to tell you openly who I am and what I'm all about. And they're making fun of me now. This is who they want to be mayor? A man who thinks that 9/11 has hurt his family because they now get traumatized because people are looking at him funny? I wonder why. I wonder why. And you don't even mention the victims.
Proud and his face heavy with the implication of the unsaid. I had not learned the lesson that he had been taught time and again. It is the lesson that safety could only be found in the shadows of our city. That it is in those shadows alone where Muslims could embrace the fullness of our own identities. And that if we are to emerge from them, then it is in those shadows where we must leave our faith.
Man, I'm not glad I don't live in New York. I'd be locked up. Can you imagine any other religion making 9/11 about their problems? And he's sitting there with his smirky face telling people, I am not going to hide what I'm all about. You got to read between the lines here. We talk about comms here quite a bit. The comm that's being made here isn't to you, isn't to me. It's a call to the people in the quote shadows. Hey, it's time to emerge. It's time to come out. We're going to do this thing. We are going to win this.
These are lessons that so many Muslim New Yorkers have been taught again and again. And over these last few days, these are the lessons that have become the closing message of Andrew Cuomo, Curtis Sliwa, and Eric Adams. Yesterday, Andrew Cuomo laughed and agreed when a radio show host said that I would cheer another 9/11. Yesterday, Eric Adams said that we can't let our city become Europe.
So you're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed to say you can't let our city become Europe. Maybe you could tell people how you're going to make sure that doesn't happen. See, what you're trying to do right now, he's basically, just so if you're in New York, he's assuming power right now. He's letting you know how life is going to be. You are not going to make us shut up. We are going to come out of the shadows. You're not going to tell me what I'm not going to do. I'm telling you what I'm going to do. No, I am not America first. You know what he's first. He's telling you right now. He's telling New Yorkers. He's telling his compadres. New sheriff in town. I'm going to win. And now this is how it's going to be. And we're not going to be ashamed in the shadows or bashed about anything anymore. And if you try to make us, we are going to do everything right now to shame you because we don't have power. But it's not going to be accepted. And you may get put in jail when it does happen.
He compared me to violent extremists. And he lied when he said that our movement seeks to burn churches and destroy communities. The day before that, Curtis Sliwa slandered me from a debate stage when he claimed that I supported global jihad. And every day, Super PAC ads imply that I am a terrorist or mock the way I eat. Push polls that ask New Yorkers questions like whether they support invented proposals to make halal mandatory.
Funny. We broadcast a debate. Why didn't you say this then? When, the whole idea with a debate is be able to think quickly on your feet. If you felt that Curtis Sliwa said something you didn't like, Why didn't you say it then? Why are you making a special video specifically talking to you-know-who? We're not going to have this here in New York anymore. It ain't going to happen. Not going out like that. We're going to run this place. New Yorkers, you're done. You are absolutely done. There is no possible way at this point that you guys can pull out of this ditch that you're playing, is metaphorically speaking. It can't happen. And you've turned your city over to this guy.
Political cartoons that represent my candidacy as an airplane hurtling towards the World Trade Center. But I do not want to use this moment to speak to them any further. I want to use this moment to speak to the Muslims of the city.
There you go. Like, oh my gosh. I don't even got to talk to you anymore. I'm talking to my boys here. His words, not mine. Not mine. He actually just said it. I'm not even going to address this anymore. I'm going to speak to them. This was basically his call to arms. And if you're in New York, boy, at this point, you realize, what did we do? Well, here's what you did. You let people not from here take over your city. You let people not from here choose who they're going to let run this city. You will turn into Londonistan. You will. He's telling you he will. Notice he didn't say he wouldn't. Notice when he was saying people said this and people said that, he didn't say, no, I'm not like that. Not at all. He didn't say that. He's actually saying, I don't need to talk to you anymore.
I want to speak to the memory of my aunt, who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab.
Now remember, he just said who he's talking to, right? He's just telling the people who he's talking to, and he recounts the same thing he did the day before when he started crying. Basically what he's saying is, no more tears. She cried before. That ain't going to happen anymore.
I want to speak to the Muslim city worker, whether they teach in our schools or walk the beat for the NYPD. New Yorkers who all make daily sacrifices on behalf of this city only to see their leaders spit in their face. I want to speak to every child who grows up in New York marked as the other, who is randomly selected in a way that rarely feels random, who feels that they carry a stain that can never quite be cleaned. Growing up in the shadow of 9/11, I have known what it means to live with an undercurrent of suspicion.
So how could you live in New York and not be pissed off listening to this? How could you have any reaction other than, oh, this guy's crazy. This guy is saying, we're the victims. I've been living in the shadow of 9/11. We're the victims. We're the ones who are worried about going on subway. Oh, really? Oh, really? Tell me how many times, I don't know, in the last 24 years, somebody has done something to one of your compadres. Tell me in the last 24 years across the world where, you know, it hasn't been your compadres. Every time something happens, we're like, it's one of those people, isn't it? Yeah, boo-boo. I'm not saying that's because of the religion. I'm saying that's why people are nervous. And he's telling, because he goes, I'm not speaking to y'all. I'm talking to my friends. And I'm letting them know, no more. You ain't got to worry. Ain't going to happen.
I will always remember the disdain I faced, the way my name could immediately become Muhammad, and how I could return to my city only to be asked in a double-mirrored room at the airport if I had any plan of attacking it. And since I was very young, I have known that I was spared the worst of it. I was never pressured to be an informant like a classmate of mine. I've never had the word terrorist spray painted on my garage as one of my staff had to endure. My mosque has never been set on fire.
See, most of you don't live in New York, but if you did and you're hearing this speech, you have to be wetting your depends. You have to realize what's coming. I was looked at in a double mirror. I was searched. He's going to be the head of the city with two of the largest airports in the country, if not the world, LaGuardia and JFK. Is he seriously going to try to take on the feds and say you can't search people anymore who are of his persuasion? And it's funny how he's talking about, names and innuendos when he entire campaign has been making names and innuendos towards President Trump and MAGA. But then again, he was honest. He's like, I'm not talking to you.
Muslim in New York is to expect indignity. But indignity does not make us distinct. There are many New Yorkers who face it. It is the tolerance of that indignity that does. Since I announced my candidacy for mayor 1 year ago yesterday, I've sought to be the candidate fighting for everyday New Yorkers, not simply the Muslim candidate. I've carried these indignities with me each moment of this race, doing so all the while as the first major Muslim candidate for mayor in New York City history.
Again, I'm playing this. There's only a couple minutes left. But notice he has completely turned 9/11 around. In 24 years, we went from never forget to what happened in 9/11. In 24 short years. We'll never forget. Never forget. And in 24 years, now we're at a point where don't even talk about it anymore because it makes us kind of feel bad. I wonder what happens next year if he doesn't do a 9/11 memorial.
I thought that if I could build a campaign of universality, I could define myself as the leader I aspire to be, one representing every New Yorker, no matter their skin color or religion. I thought if I worked hard enough, it would allow me to be that leader. And I thought that if I behaved well enough or bit my tongue enough in the face of racist, baseless attacks while returning back to my central message, it would allow me to be more than just my faith. I was wrong.
I thought if I played nice, I'd be okay. I thought if I placated you people, it would be okay. I'm still winning, but now I'm done playing nice. Does that send chills up anybody else's spine? Yeah, I thought if I did it this way, I'd be okay. No, but no.
No amount of redirection is ever enough. In doing this, I have told the wide-eyed young boy in Jackson Heights or the first-time voter in Parkchester that they too should remain in the shadows. I am becoming that same uncle who took me aside. No more. The dream of every Muslim is simply to be treated the same as any other New Yorker. And yet for too long we have been told to ask for less than that.
I cannot believe he posted this. I cannot even fathom that this is what he's saying on the precipice of being elected the mayor of the biggest city in the country. If you have relatives, if you have friends in New York City, now would be the time to tell them, get out. Don't let yourself get caught. Don't think, oh, it might be okay. He's telling you right now, that city you once knew, it ain't going to be like that much longer. There is no other reason for this video. There is no other reason for him to come out and say, not any longer. That's how it was yesterday. Now I'm taking the gloves off.
And to be satisfied with whatever little we receive. No more.
No more.
For as long as we have lived, we have known that no matter what anyone says, there are still certain forms of hate acceptable in this city today. Islamophobia is not seen as inexcusable. One can incite violence against our mosques and know that condemnation will never come. Elected officials in this city can sell t-shirts calling for my deportation without fear of any accountability. The consequences are stark. More than 1 million Muslim New Yorkers exist in this city only to be made to feel as if guests in our own home. No more.
How do you plan on stopping people who feel a certain way and want to make a t-shirt that says how they feel? How are you going to stop people online who feel this way or that way about a certain subject? No more. You can see what this is coming. Understand, he released this video after the debate. Why didn't he release this video a couple days before the debate? Why is he releasing it now? Well, You can see why. He's letting everybody know there can be no doubt after this. I should have played the warning here because this is a bigger warning. You got, 30 days to get the hell out of New York.
We stand on the precipice of an election, but that is not what today is about. We know that in less than 2 weeks, we will say goodbye to a disgraced former governor and our current indicted mayor. The bigger question is whether we are willing to say goodbye to something much larger. It is whether we are willing to say goodbye to anti-Muslim sentiment that has grown so endemic in our city that when we hear it, we know not whether the words were said by a Republican or by a Democrat. We know only that it was spoken in the language of the politics of this city. In an era of ever-diminishing bipartisanship, Islamophobia has emerged as one of the few areas of agreement. And while I appreciate all who have rushed to my defense over the past 2 days, I think of those Muslims in this city who do not have the luxury of being the Democratic nominee, who do not have the luxury of being deemed worthy of solidarity. While my opponents in this race have brought this hatred to the forefront, this is just a glimpse into what so many Muslims have had to endure every day across the 5 boroughs that we call home. And while it would be easy to say that this is not who we are as a city, we know the truth. This is who we have allowed ourselves to become.
Defiance, indignance, anger. You can find a lot of adjectives here, but one of them isn't accommodating. This isn't the speech of a man who's, hey, how you doing? Yeah, you're one of the guys in Mulberry Street. Hey, you're in Hell's Gate. No, we're coming. The 1 million of us, the legion of us, we are coming. And we're not taking your crap anymore.
A question lies before each of us. Will we continue to accept a narrow definition of what it means to be a New Yorker that makes smaller the number of those guaranteed a life of dignity? Will we remain in the shadows, or will we together step into the light? There are 11 days remaining until Election Day. I will be a Muslim man in New York City each of those 11 days, and every day that follows after that.
Why was that needed? Did anybody tell you you had to renounce it? Did anybody tell you that you shouldn't be? Why exactly did you need to say that? Remember, this started talking about 9/11, and it's ending with him saying, yeah, it's not New York City, the Big Apple anymore.
I will not change who I am. I will not change how I eat. I will not change the faith that I am proud to belong to. But there is one thing I will change. I will no longer look for myself in the shadows. I will find myself in the light.
He was talking to them. We're not going to take it anymore. We are going to emerge from the shadows. Well, let me ask you a question. Who needs to emerge from the shadows? I'm pretty sure if you take a cab or go into a restaurant or go shopping, there's nobody hiding unless you are some of the ones who are hiding. He's telling people, I'm going to bring you out into the light. You're not going to have to worry anymore. Who's worrying? If you haven't been to New York recently, they're not worrying. Other people are worrying. So who needs to come out from the shadow? I don't know, and I don't want to know. Let me just tell you about this. Okay, so this happened as well. Where did I do it? Okay, here. Excuse me. There's a poll, and this is a reputable polling agency, McLaughlin and Associates. It was a poll commissioned by the Manhattan Institute, and it finds that 26% of New York residents, doesn't say what kind, New York residents would consider leaving if Mamdani is elected.
Seems God ain't close as he used to be. And there's more tequila in this old town than pines in Tennessee. I ain't the man I thought I'd be. And these neon lights that keep me up got me thinking maybe mom and dad had it right all along. We're too old to still be alone, and we ain't happy ever after all. we made it out, living in our hometown. I miss the days that flow like the Mississippi. You find a girl and get married before you're 20. But I've been running like a southbound train, as fast as a northern sun.
All right, so I'm back. I don't know what happened. Everything showed green here, so I don't know. But anyway, we were done that segment, which is fine. So I should be good. No, I'm on. Everybody on Rumble is on. So I'm going to continue. Hopefully you guys can see me. Rumble's still working. SB, am I live? Or because you said you heard the music, so everything should be fine here. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. It says you're back. All right, I am back. Don't know what the heck that was, but the gremlins in the machine, or they didn't like what I was talking about. So let me get going here, so that in case something else happens. So anyway, that's the whole Mamdani thing. Pretty crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. All right, so with that being said, before I get cut off, let me finish up here. I got a little bit of a 10 spot for you.
Here's the big finish. 10 stories that you just gotta hear. Number 10.
But you are allowed to dance the night away during Trump's third inauguration. Kidding. But Hips isn't. He's ready to impeach.
Running the largest pay-to-play scheme in the history of the country, and probably soliciting donations from people who've got business before the United States government. And all of this is going to have to be investigated. It will. All of this will have to be uncovered. It will. And these people are going to be held accountable, no matter how long it takes.
They're going to.
What are you investigating? I think about this and I see all the people talking about how, oh my gosh, they're demolishing it and it looks off. What are they going to say when it starts getting rebuilt? What are they going to say when it's like, wow, that looks impressive. That looks fantastic. All this is just complete gaslighting. Either that or people have never seen a construction site up close. How do you think things get built? It's insane.
Impeach the president for the third time because he built a ballroom? Suddenly, Democrats are worried about historic monuments.
Trump said, I'm going to do it. I want my ballroom. If Trump next week began demolition on the Washington Monument to make it more of a Mar-a-Lago looking thing, would Republicans stand up and say anything?
Breathe. He's renovating a part of the White House so that people don't have to come and eat in tents. Notice none of them, not any single one of them, are talking about the tent dinners. Nobody is bringing up to people that heads of state from around the world have to come walk through grass, women in high heels, and eat in tents because we've never had a ballroom. Chill. This is all AstroTurf. It doesn't mean anything. It does mean something. It means these people have absolutely nothing to go on.
The people who rip down famous statues now care about preserving American history. Since when do Democrats care so much about the White House structure? They told us the White House was built on racism.
According to the White House Historical Association, enslaved human beings were likely involved in all aspects of the construction, including the carpentry, masonry, carting, rafting, plastering, glazing, and painting.
So? My question is, so? What's your point? It was cheap labor. It was how things were done back then. Why are we even talking about racism and different things from 200 years ago? How long is this horse going to be continually beat?
BLM was trying to burn the White House down, and Democrats were mad Trump put around a fence. The left doesn't want America to be beautiful.
It is so astroturf. Wait till you hear this guy. I think number 9, I made this the other day. I think number 9, this might be even more amazing.
Number 9.
Or get anybody? Yeah. This guy who you realize as you hear him, he obviously squats to pee. What he's about to say can only be even listened to or accepted by a complete libnut. My father was in construction. I renovate houses. And this guy has obviously never seen the backside of a hammer.
Consensus or approval, and boom, comes in. And the images, what do the images look like? Maybe a natural disaster, or more commonly these days, war or terrorism. You know, and it's, in this case, again, it's not a giant thing, but it's a thing that just normal folks will care about when they see this thing.
Have you ever driven by a construction site? I'm just wondering, do these people on MSNBC, do these nuts never, ever, ever see what's behind a curtain on a construction site? Do they see cranes when they're driving? Do they know what cranes do? Do they know what the purpose of a backhoe is? Do they understand that to build something, more than likely you have to take something else away? There ain't a whole bunch of empty land in this country, except in, places where it's not the city. And so if you want to, especially if you want to build here, you got to tear something down to build it. I can't understand how these effeminate men are freaking out because they're seeing backhoes.
And, he's made it worse for himself. But of course, who he's made it worse for is his Republican minions and sycophants more than himself, because assuming he's not running again for an unconstitutional third term, he can do whatever he wants. And, and the other thing about Donald Trump, and this is a small instance of it, he has made himself the strong man. He owns it all. He owns the tearing down the East Wing.
As I was watching this, I'm thinking to myself, this is on a national news network where some men actually watch this network. And I have to know what men sit there and listen to this guy and going, what in the hell are you talking about? Oh, the Republicans are going to have to live with this. Live with what? It's called construction. It's somebody taking something down to rebuild another structure. It doesn't make any sense. As I've said, they can only exist if you don't have any memory, because then you won't realize what Obama did. You won't realize what other presidents did. So they don't want you knowing that. This is the first time ever. This is ever anybody has ever renovated something.
He owns what hasn't happened in Ukraine. He owns it all. He can't say, oh, no, it's the Democrats. Oh, it's Washington gridlock. No. He's solved that problem by just going ahead. So the political negativity is all on him and, moreover, Republicans.
Political negativity. I'm sorry. Before I went on this show today, my wife and I were watching Indiana and UCLA play football. As I've told you many times, these stadiums are packed. Nobody's listening to you idiots. Negativity? Oh my God, the negativity of him renovating an old building. Oh, I shudder. I can't deal with it.
Number 8.
Speaker Johnson, Ro Khanna was here earlier, the Democratic congressman from California, and he asked us to ask you if you would open the Congress so that you could have votes. He said he would support paying the troops, paying those critical workers for the government. He would vote for those bills along those lines. He asked if you'd do that.
Well, Ro's my friend. I have great respect for him, but he did vote against those very things on September 19th. That's what the CR was. The continuing resolution was to keep all those people paid, and every Democrat in the House voted against that. They voted to close the government down and stop those services. Now, if we were here today and we had another vote on the floor, it would not change that outcome, because the Senate Democrats just batted that down last week. They voted down pay for troops and the defense appropriations bill.
All right, so yesterday I made a comment and I said, I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show you where you can find it as well, specifically what's holding this up. As the Democrats lie every single day, saying it's got nothing to do with the newcomers getting free stuff. No, that's not it at all. Well, I'm going to show you. And you can show and talk to other people. Let me pull this up for you. Where's my mouse? Okay. All right. So you can simply look at this yourself. It's got the shutdown clock is still running, so you can see it yourself. Where is it? It's on number 34 here. Number 34. All right. So let's go to 34. And let me move this. Hold on 1 second. Getting it all put together so you guys can see this. Let me move this in. Alrighty. This is on whitehouse.gov. Anybody, any one of you can go here. And there's the clock right there, 24 days, 19 hours, and 35 seconds. The fact sheet. The Democrats shut down government over free health care for newcomers. Well, they go through the entire thing, and you can read this on your own. And it gets to this information right here. You can quote this to anybody you want. You can show them. You can say, can you answer what the heck this thing says? There's section 71.109 through 10, 17, 712, 13, 01, and 02. And it's right here. This is what the Democrats want repealed, meaning they want this taken out of the continuing resolution. Ending Medicaid for non-citizens, 6 million. Ending enhanced FMAP for emergency care to newcomers, 28 million. Closing the California loophole, 34 million. Ending Medicare funding for most non-citizens, 5 million. Ending Obamacare funding for most non-citizens, 91 million. Repealing the Obamacare special rule for newcomers, 27 million. Altogether, that's 192. I said million. I'm sorry. Those 192 billion. $192 billion that they want put back in here. And these are all the facts. The Democrat proposal would once again allow those improperly granted asylum and parole under Biden open border scheme to receive Medicaid. Fact, Democrats' proposal would require Medicaid to pay for more emergency care. Democrats' proposal would allow California to continue exploiting a loophole to fund Medicaid for newcomers, and on and on and on. It is specifically $192 billion that they want put back into the bill to pay for all these things. Yet every single day they go out and lie to the American public and say, no, we don't want that. And it's right there. It's actually written. And if you get to this page down here, you can read the entire memo here. When I say entire memo, move, dismiss. Okay. This is here. The Democrat plan for newcomers. They're not even allowed me to say the word, but it's all right there with footnotes and everything. You can click to every single one of these things so that you can actually see it for yourself. It's all in black and white. I told you yesterday I would show it to you where you could access it yourself. You can show some of your liberal friends are like, hey man, there's $200 billion here that they're demanding be put back in this bill. So they're lying every single day. Every single day. Not some. Every single day they are saying $200 billion isn't what we're looking for. It's not for newcomers. That's not what it's all about, when that's 100% what it's all about. It's sitting right there. This entire document has all kinds of footnotes and links where you can go read more. These people are lying to the American public every single day and will not even show this. If Hakeem Jeffries was in an interview right now and I said, I'm looking at the $200 billion that you're trying to force back into the economy, back into the bill, just for the newcomers, he would say, no, it's not true. I'm looking at it. Now you're looking at it.
Number 7.
We start the process of unmasking the agents. Even though they're wearing masks, every single one of them has a towel.
You say unmasking, they're going to say you're going to dox them, and that's why threats against them are up.
They are on public property, out in the open. We have an absolute right under our Constitution to be able to document what's happening. Every single one of those agents, height, weight, hair color, they wear their vests in a particular way. They're wearing insignias, even the masks that they wear, the shoes that they wear, the cars that they're driving. We have a right to compile that information and put together a profile of each of these agents that's alleged to have committed crime. This is not about doxing them. This is not about putting them in danger, and I'm sure we're going to hear that. But as residents of this city in the metropolitan area, we have a right to know who's doing what, and supposedly in our name, but we believe that they are committing crimes and it needs to be investigated, and then let a grand jury, let the prosecutor make a determination.
Are you saying you're going to compile this information and then take legal action, civil action?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to compile the information, and hopefully it's going to compel local law enforcement, the state's attorney, and others to do their jobs and investigate the allegations of serious crimes being committed.
So you want to completely unmask, fully dox all of the ICE agents because you're not sure that they're really ICE agents. And then when you find out who they are, where they live, what color hair they have, when you find all this out, then you want to investigate them so that you can get a grand jury to prosecute them for doing their job. That's what you're saying. Now, forget all the problems you have with that. One of the things you might be thinking is, well, why aren't you doing that with Antifa? Why are they allowed to completely dress in black and run around and do all the stuff they're doing? And you have had every opportunity to go and throw them in jail and dox them. But let me ask you something. Beetlejuice. When they show you their ID, let's say you did do this. Hey, we're going to dox you. We want you to take off the mask. We want to verify. And they show you that their ID is or badge that they are an ICE agent. What do you got? It's over. There is no investigation. I am here on behalf of the federal government. What grand jury? What law is being broken? You think Mamdani's bad? These people get in trouble. I mean, get back in power. We're in big trouble. Big.
Number 6.
What the Congresswoman did yesterday, what the governor of Illinois said yesterday, does nothing but harm this country. You cannot touch federal agents when they're doing their job, and that's something that they know. It's something that we reminded them of last night, because if you do, you're committing a crime.
So you guys may not know, this is Todd Blanche, who's right below Pam Bondi and was President Trump's attorney during the trial in Manhattan, who some of the MAGA Confederates are saying he's not trustworthy, blah, 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 blah. The guy that Trump picked, who defended Trump, and is now working right under Pam Bondi, you're seeing some people say this guy's not the real goods. I mean, Ben Dykes posted something today. He posted about Candace Owens. And I said, insanity and conspiracy nuts are very profitable. It is extremely profitable because the people who think like that gravitate to that sun. That sunlight that they are attracted to like moths, it's not plentiful. So when they see it, they all run to it. And people who like to profit off of it understand the more insane I am, the more they'll keep coming back for more. And the more crazy stuff I say, they'll keep coming. I'll keep making all kinds of money. How do you know this, Barry? How do you know this is for sure? How do you know that to be true? Well, I don't know. Maybe you are going to recognize what I'm going to say here. In fact, there were movies made about it, Men in Black. I grew up where you go shopping in the grocery store, and every place you went in the grocery store, the National Enquirer was right there. Two-headed space monster is working in GM. And people would buy that crap. A lot of people would buy that crap. They made a ton of money selling the National Enquirer. And so is there room for the MAGA Confederates to make money? Oh, hell yeah. There's a lot of money to be made in feeding the insanity of people. Insanity pays a lot. You can make a whole crap load of money if you were to start a YouTube channel and all you did is talk about conspiracy theories. I digress because I just saw Todd Blanche, and you've heard some of those stories. I ain't got time for it.
And the amazing thing about what happened is yesterday President Trump announced and formally launched the Homeland Security Task Force. This is, in our modern history, the single largest effort by law enforcement to combat narco-terrorists and to get the scourge and the drug dealers out of this country. In just 60 days, we've arrested over 3,200 drug dealers and either gotten them out of this country or put them in jail.
You gotta also wonder how much of that money that is being taken out of the coffers. You know, you took away USAID and now you're taking away narco money, and who knows where that money is going. Like I told you, the aircraft carrier going to Venezuela, if you think it's because they want to stop a couple bales of yayo, you better think again.
On that same day, you have Pelosi, you have other congresswomen, you have a congressman from New York, and you have the governor of Illinois not praising that, not thanking President Trump, but saying that federal law enforcement agents should be arrested. That's the best example of the difference between what this administration is doing and what the Democrats want done. And it's sad, and I feel bad for our federal law enforcement and their families and their wives and their husbands and their children when their mom goes to work every day putting their life on their line, and they have governors and leaders in the Democrat Party suggesting they should be arrested.
He didn't
That's
just
disgusting.
say that.
So I have a question for you. I have a question that a buddy of mine asked me, and I was like, you can ask your friends, you can talk about it in the chat. Tell me, other than going after Trump, what laws do the Democrats actually want enforced? And I felt like an idiot because I'm like, oh, I couldn't think of any, because he said that to me. He's like, don't talk Trump, don't talk about, the administration or MAGA. Other than that, what laws do the Democrats seemingly publicly support? And it made me sit back. I'm like, whoa, we're in a big, big, big problem. Yeah, everything. They're against anything putting people in jail. In fact, even the guy who slit the girl's throat on the train in Carolina. Oh, no, we can't put him in jail. Letitia James. Oh, it's just a mistake. Oh, you're just picking on her. What laws do you guys want enforced? There's a conversation piece you can have at a cocktail party. Just, hey, excuse me, what laws do you think Democrats want enforced? And just shut up. Because I had to talk with Robin. I'm like, hey, can we name some? They don't want immigration enforced. No. They don't want anyone to go to jail. They want no cash bail. You can do whatever you want. That's when I realized we're in a real bad way. These people don't want any laws enforced. There's no laws right now that they think are a priority, except for hate Trump, lock up MAGA. Other than that, you'll be hard-fetched to find a law that they will stand behind and say, Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, you need to lock up people who do this, this, and this. They don't want them blowing up narco-terrorist boats. They don't want them doing anything. Maryland, nothing. They don't want you to secure Washington. They don't want you to stop crime in the cities. They don't want you to do anything that puts handcuffs on anybody. Why is that? Because most of them are going to be Democrats. Let's just understand what they're doing. Every person that goes to jail is one less vote. They know this. They know that they are built on criminality and illegalism. That's what the Democrats are. And I'm challenging you to have that conversation. What law is it? No, see, somebody said guns. No, that's MAGA. No. That's not something that they want. I'm talking about something that they want to enforce.
Number 5.
Mike, I just want to point out that none of those things were done without permission. Everybody knew it was happening. This, nobody knew when it was happening. Nobody knows how it's happening. You say that it's being paid for by other people, but you know it's always going to come down to the people. The people are always going to end up paying something. So I don't understand why you don't get that people are saying, wait a minute, nobody asked for, I don't remember asking for a ballroom.
Right. And also to say that Obama put in a basketball court is like saying, oh, should we do bath fit?
Anything he does, anything. Timothy Mellon, 130 million. They're pissed off. They want to sue. They want to investigate. People are paying for the ballroom. We don't need a ballroom. Who said we? You don't meet with international leaders. We've talked about it. This ballroom thing is nothing more than just ongoing AstroTurf.
Number 4.
Wanted to recognize the team here today. You know, as I live around the group here, Director Patel, I appreciate the support, and I share with you behind the scenes my appreciation for my colleague and law enforcement colleagues and U.S. Attorney here as well, the colleagues from the state. I mean, this is the work. You know, I constantly tell people, you know, we are having significant success across the city this year. And it's not just about, you know, the Philadelphia Police Department. It's those relationships that we've had for quite some time.
So I found this interesting. They had left media didn't talk about it at all, but they had this huge bust in Philadelphia. And just like with Washington, something's happening. Now the Philadelphia chief of police is chummy with Kash Patel. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Yeah. Something's happened. No one's talking about it. But these chiefs of police in various big blue cities are getting real chubby with the FBI.
We continue to use those relationships to move forward. It was just not too long ago after Kata Scott's, we found her murderer. It was the FBI that I returned to help us in that investigation and talking to Wayne throughout that. So we're constantly behind the scenes working together, and I'm just so appreciative of that. I do want to recognize Commissioner Kelly, who oversees our narcotics team, and our narcotics officers here today, and the Bureau for their hard work and their engagement. You know, 2 years ago when I joined back to the police department after being here 30 years, the mayor talked about One Philly in action. And this is exactly the model that the mayor at the time talked about. She charged us at that time, you know, to not just turn into turf battles and not to be in silos in our work, and that the agencies working together, we can have an impact on impacting the lives of the people that we serve. And those comments are echoed here today. Today is a culmination of a deliberate, patient, and highly coordinated investigation into a violent criminal enterprise operating in and around Weymouth Street in Kensington.
Kensington. It's taken till October for something to happen in Kensington. Kensington is so bad, YouTube will not allow me to show the videos of what's going on in Kensington. So when you get done with this show, I want you to go look up Kensington. There are some videos out there. They get all kinds of smackdowns because that's where the living zombies are. That's where you can't hide the crime. You drive by, these people are frozen in time, just standing there, completely zombied out from the drugs. There's been no shortage of people taking videos and do something. There's an entire half of a city, well, not half, but a big swath of the city where it's nothing but trust me, go watch the videos. Put in Kensington, Philadelphia. You will sit there and go, are those real people? Is this a movie set? Is this Walking Dead? No, you're going to see these people, and they've been there for years. And now all of a sudden you're making busts in Kensington, and you're happy to be working with Kash Patel? What in the hell is going on? Nobody's telling us. Media won't talk about it, but we saw it in Washington, and now you see it in Philadelphia. And then you just heard President Trump said the mayor in San Francisco said, "Please, we'll get our crap together." Something is changing. I could not believe it. Memphis, we're seeing this happen on a big scale in areas that have been historically crap. And I thank God that something is helping these people in Kensington.
You see the captain behind me nodding. He's like, man, thank you. Because we have known for a long time the conditions and what Weymouth has done.
Yeah, somebody asked in the chat, is it Kensington? No, Kensington. 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 And you put that, and it really tugs at your heart. Because as you see these and you realize these are human beings. And women have done God knows what to get what they needed to do. And the guys have done God knows what to do what they had to do. And to see somebody completely locked up. I'm showing you right now because you're probably not going to believe it. People just frozen. They look like statues. They can't, their body won't let them fall. They are so drugged up, the rest of their body doesn't understand, hey, should I fall? Nope, you're just going to stay there and hang there. It's the saddest thing you'd ever want to see. It is so sad seeing human beings in that kind of state. Over and over for blocks and blocks. And this is in a major American city. This is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Philadelphia. At one point was the head of, or it was before Washington, it was the capital. And you've got an entire swath of the city where people, when you look at it, it looks like Gaza.
Or 3. The human toll here of this government shutdown and a striking sight. Military members and their families lining up at a food bank here in Texas, uncertain when they'll get their next paycheck and when they'll be able to buy simple things like groceries. This morning, the government shutdown now in its 23rd day, bringing fear and pain to millions of Americans. Food banks across the country seeing a surge. At this Armed Services YMCA near Fort Hood, organizers telling us they're seeing a 60% spike in the need for food since the shutdown began. Most here, soldiers and their families, uncertain about the future.
It's just a lot of stress and anxiety on the family.
What would be your message to lawmakers back in Washington?
Finish it, get together, make a plan, because...
Get this over with.
Yeah, our families are struggling.
So those people, none of us has any problem with making sure the military can eat. See, that's a bridge. That's completely different. These are good people in bad situations. They're not going to say, you know what, I'm going to quit the military and just eat on food stamps for the rest of my life. And I'm going to have 6 babies. No, help me bridge this gap of where we are. And once you bridge this gap, we will then get back on our feet.
Number 2. The loon wing of the Democratic Party just hates President Trump. If President Trump came out in favor of breathing to live, the loon wing of the Democratic Party would start holding their breath. It's that irrational. Yeah. Now, all Democrats are not like that, but the bunch in control, and really the person calling the shots is a Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. She's the one that's calling the shots because her wing of the party's in control.
Let me just say this with no respect. If AOC is your leader, you're done. You're absolutely done. You have acquiesced. You have abdicated any strength in your party to a complete, utter nut. And people are saying it, and notice, nobody's disagreeing. Chuck Schumer's not coming out and going, no, she's not the leader of anything. She's a House representative from, Queens. That's it. Hakeem Jeffries, nope, he's not saying anything. In fact, Hakeem Jeffries came out yesterday and probably put the death nail in the Democrat coffin by endorsing Zorhan the Great. This is a party that's completely lost, but don't take my word for it.
Number 1.
And they're exhausted. I mean, it's so ridiculous, right? A suggestion like that. So, they're just trying so hard, and it's not working. They've even now started imitating me, of all people. They want to imitate me. And they start using foul language, but they use too much of it. You can't use the F word 7 times in one sentence. It doesn't work. It might work once every 7 news conferences, but you can't do it. You can't do it 7 times in one sentence. So I don't know. They're really they're in big trouble. That party. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're in big trouble. All right. It's funny. I'm seeing some of the comments that are coming out. People like. I went and watched SV posted a video about Kensington, and some people have been looking at it. And the thing with it is, you, wherever you live, probably have never seen anything like that, and it's such a jarring visual to see people, human beings, in that kind of condition for blocks and blocks. Knowing that it's in one of the biggest blue states in the country, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. Why did it just let that happen? It's no secret. We've all known. People drive by and take videos. It is a tourist attraction now. It's because people are driving through. There's no really danger. Because it's like, oh, what is this? It's a human zoo. They're all just they're there, just laying around. And nobody in the Democratic Party ever did anything about it. And now Kash Patel is with the police chief, and they're trying to do something in Kensington. Why do the Democrats just let that stuff go by? I can't tell you. It doesn't make any sense. What kind of drug is it? I don't know. I mean, somebody says, what kind of drug are they on? Heroin? Fentanyl? I don't know. But my thing is, how do you not die? How do you take so much that your body gets paralyzed, but you don't die? And I was talking to a cop, and he said there are people who OD on that stuff. They give them the Narcan to get them back, which means they're bright-eyed, and they can't take being bright-eyed and alert, and they go take it again. Never knowing if that next dose is going to put you out for good. It's crazy. Trank, the body eating drug. It's horrendous. Trank. I never heard that. Yeah, somebody else says it's called Trank. Whew. Wow. I thought it was fentanyl. Somebody goes, I just went and looked. Oh yeah. Once you Joey, once you go and look at that stuff, you will never forget it. I remember the first time I saw it, and I showed it Rob. I'm like, is this real? Is this a movie set? And, there'd be Hollywood productions that could save a lot of money on extras. Just go and film there. There's your zombie set. Many do die. Wow. People walk right over the bodies. Ugh. That is so scary. SB says, what's it called? It's called Trank. Is street slang for a dangerous drug mixture containing xylazine. Whew, wow. It's fentanyl and horse tranquilizer. Oh my God. Trump is supposed to hit Malaysia at 9:30. I will film that and have it ready for tomorrow. Yeah, I've never heard of Trank. Nope, never. And the next, what's the stuff says? Next time, Narcan will take more to wake them up. Narcan, if you're not familiar with that, is a very, very powerful drug that basically zaps you back into life because it is so bad for. My question just remains is why have they just allowed it to happen? It just these people, I don't know. I don't understand why they let it happen. I don't know. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And it just doesn't seem normal. Let me look here. What am I doing here? 1 second. I'm looking at something here. All right. So let me go ahead and, in case you forgot, Donald Trump is your president. Trump is your president. Donald Trump is your president. All right, everybody. I want to thank you for tonight. Oh, I got to do super chats. Ooh, I almost forgot that. Yeah, he's supposed to land at 9:30 or so. Let me do this. Super chats. Come on. Okay. And so I don't know what happened. I don't know why it buffered like that. I can't tell. All right, here we go. And I move this over here. Okay. KRO, thank you very much. Bible Bucks, thank you. God's love letter to us. Thank you. Angie Williams, Jesus is in charge. Absolutely. Larry, 1754. I went to register for silver, had to submit a couple times due to typos on my part. Now I'm marked as spam. I will, Larry, send SV or Roaring Rage your email so I can check and see if I can do it manually. Charlene Ferguson, thank you. Demon of Cybertron. Oh, by the way, somebody like, am I doing silver today? No, it's silver because I'm working with Lear Capital is only Monday through Friday. So Monday during the day show, we'll give out another bar of silver. Also, next week we're probably going to start the fishing trip giveaway and some other things. Okay, EBT people can't afford food but have $3,000 rims. That $3,000 rims and $1,000 phones. Yeah, that too. Dominic LeBlanc preaching. Thank you. Bobby Bobo Yogi, I make $18 an hour, own a house, car, and pay my bills. No pink hair or fishing lures jammed into my face, and can still send a super chat, not an EBT leash. Good for you. Good for you. Deb Blank, instead of teaching these kids how to balance a budget and save money, they're teaching them about transforming. Exactly. You know why? Because it perpetuates it, keeps them dumb and stupid. Job for 9, Goody Mob song lyrics to fight to win, and if they won't listen, save your breath and save yourself. Very well. Maverick Mongoose, hey Barry, you ever think of starting a channel specifically on making money and investing, maybe even selling a pro? Nope, I'm not going to sell anything. I'd buy it, just a thought. All right, so tomorrow, since you just brought that up, let me just tell you, for people who don't want to come, don't come. But I'm going to show you some things tomorrow that doesn't matter what your position is. Doesn't matter if you're retired. Doesn't matter if you're on Social Security. What I'm going to show you, if you come with an open mind, what you can do within the next, I'd say, 10 to 14 days and be on the way to making some serious jack. A lot of people will listen. Many people won't do it. Mary Boston, good idea. The stores are set up a way they won't get deluged. Reality check needed. Exactly. Nikki P, 194 million. 194 millions according to the search results. 42 million on welfare, about 22% or 1/5 of the adult population. Wow. Wow. That's scary. Barry Canova, guys, grocery games part 2. I don't want to work, and you best pay me for my children. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be ready on November 4th or 3rd to go take some video. Andrew, Barry, there are plenty of jobs available around the holidays. They may get laid off afterwards, but it's a start, and we'll get them through the holidays. Oh yeah, plenty of help people need. In fact, when you're at Walmart and you're looking to steal something, you could also probably put in an application. It might, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Fazul, orcs call me racist Nazi. Yeah, a lot of that going around. Lou Jack, thank you. Lou Jack again. I want that shirt, Barry. See you in Tampa next year. Okay. Thank you. Maverick Mongoose. Hey, Barry, I got to ask you, where do you come up with your analogy? Sometimes I fall out of my chair laughing so hard. I don't know. My brain works that way. Hi, Christina. Paying it forward for the Bibles. I love the one you sent me, and I will cherish it forever. I started reading it cover to cover because I don't want to miss a thing. God bless you. I am so happy. If you guys don't know who Christina is, and her uncle, I believe, Gray Man, they've been around for quite some time, and Christina came to the Lord watching our videos. Thank you very much. Neo, for the Bibles, thank you for all the truth and the meaningful content. I pray daily for those hurting or in need. God sees there is so much abuse because of the Dems. You go ahead and look at that Kensington video, and it leaves you with nothing but sorrow. And you have to wonder, let me stop. You have to wonder when people watch what's going on in Kensington. And as you're watching those videos, realize, look at the date of the video. And look, once you're on YouTube looking at them, look at some of the other ones. And realize how long it's been going on, how long Zombieland is being built in Kensington, and nobody pays any attention. They just let it happen. It disgusts me, absolutely disgusts me. Fazil, Evil Mamdani, sympathizer. They're in trouble. Deanne Hobbs, I do not understand why Trump isn't stopping this. Well, stopping which part? Mamdani, or are you talking about Kensington? Either way, both of those are local. That's not federal. He won't give him any money if you're talking about Mamdani. He's not going to get any federal assistance, but you can't make people not vote. Cutting Edge, is the book buried? The book teach them to eliminate us point blank. That's why they. I agree. Tania, Mamdani is just fueling fires. Yeah. Notice, no, I'm not going to say it. They'll get mad. I was going to say we all have to seek protection, but it's never the bad guys who need to seek protection. White Wolf, $10 says that if Trump demolished the Washington Monument, he would build a new, bigger Washington for free, and we would make more money with probably the tourist dollars. You're right. Deanne Hobbs, the plan is to create chaos over everything so we get tired of everything seeming crazy and not vote Republicans again. Hey Beth, glad you and Robin, especially Midas, love your housewarming gift. The backgrounds on both sides of the pillow are my abstract artwork made by me. In case you guys weren't here, Beth sent me this. Let me have to make sure you can see it. She sent me this pillow, and it's got Midas on the front, and then it's got Lily on the back. Let me move my left hand. This says Lily, and it's so pretty. Thank you very much. And I told you, Lily got to that end. she decided she was going to chew on the pillow, just like she did with the rugs that were sent to us. She's such a bad dog, but it's beautiful. Thank you, Beth. Please, everyone, agree with my prayer that God's will be done to New York City, that a godly, Christ-fearing man will be the mayor. Yes, I agree. FL. Job for 9. So officials are enjoying doxing, which is a crime. Like I said, start thinking about what laws these people actually want enforced. Job for 9. Showed family the Kensington. They asked what country. Yeah, like where's that, man? That's got to be some European country that's gone off the. It's Philadelphia. Yeah, it's Philadelphia. Barry, how many people, Jose Bazil, how many people have been caught buying worth food stamps and using it to steal cakes and send food overseas? Probably quite a bit. And Fazul, many police MAGA with tied hands. And Mr. Fisher, if it wasn't for gerrymandering, the Democrats would already be almost a non-existent party. I believe that completely. SV has sent me something here. What do you got me looking at, SV? See, SV himself got here late. SV, I covered that meeting on Air Force One earlier. I actually, that was the first thing I showed when we started the show, was the Emir of Qatar. I don't know how you pronounce that. Let me see if SV's got any other news up in here. There's a big race happening in Philadelphia, and so hopefully, not Philadelphia, New Jersey. So hopefully we can see something come from that. Let me see if there's any other news here. This is interesting. JP Morgan will now allow crypto as mortgage collateral. Wow. That's big. And I think covered everything. Let me just check something else. I'm watching these rage videos all over the place where these people are like, I'm going to steal my food. I'm like, okay. All right. Well, we shall see. We shall see what you end up doing. I don't think you're going to like it. I think you're going to go to jail. But we shall definitely see. And all right, so I will see you guys tomorrow, and probably about the same time or so. We'll meet again tomorrow. All right, thank you guys. Go watch some football. Have dinner. It's 7:30, and I'll go ahead and tape President Trump's appearance in Malaysia tonight. Thank you, everybody.
Show.